Kathy Perry with the Buena Vista Chamber of Commerce, and I'd like to welcome you to Buena Vista Rocks, our hidden gems. What we'd like to do is meet with you once a month and introduce some of our businesses and nonprofits and let you get to know Buena Vista just a little bit better. There is so much more to our small town that you have no idea is available. And I would also like to thank Collegiate Peaks Realty for allowing us to film here today. My first guest is Buffy Mihaela of Buffy's Flowers and Gifts, and her shop is located at 306 East Main. And I'd like Buffy to tell us a little bit about how you got into the flower business and how long you've lived in Buena Vista.
Oh, wow. First of all, my family actually moved here when I was back in 1963. My dad worked up at the mines, got a job up at the mines, and it was just supposed to be an in and out thing. And then, you know, with 4 kids, you just kind of settle in and live your life. And so I grew up here all the way through high school and all those things, and pulled those shenanigans the kids did. But I worked at the correctional facility. I was out there for 7.5 years, and then as my husband started to proceed up the ranks and I was in administration, then we decided, because there was so much going on and we had kids at home, that we felt it was necessary that one of us be accessible, because if the facility goes on lockdown, then you're not accessible. Even though my parents were here taking care of my kids, you know, they're my babysitters, and that just was not a good fit for us, so I left. I resigned from the facility, and after 2 weeks not knowing what to do with myself, I started working at the flower shop when Beth Nix owned it. At that time it was Alpine Rose, and within a couple months I was buying the flower shop. I had made a decision to buy the flower shop, and I actually bought right at Labor Day. So I left the facility in April, started working Mother's Day, and was buying by Labor Day, which was pretty appropriate at the time. Well, it still is, because it truly is just a labor of love. Everybody thinks that flowers are just fluff and stuff, but there's a lot of labor, hard labor. You're standing for hours at a time. You're lifting buckets with water, 5-gallon buckets that are at least a third full of water and full of flowers. So you're moving, and you're pretty much on your feet a lot.
And you must have a green thumb to be able to take such beautiful care of these plants and flowers. I understand this flower arrangement, which was part of Collegiate Peaks Realty's office staff. It belonged to one of their staff.
Right.
And it's a week old. What is your trick to keep them looking so beautiful?
I do a lot of praying. In my business, you do a lot of praying, because you do get, and there again, this is where the not so fluffy stuff comes in. You have anything that comes through that door is on an emotional need of some level. It's either very joyous and happy with babies, marriages, engagements, but then again you have the other end where you have the funerals. And growing up in this area, it can be very difficult.
I'm sure you know a lot of these people personally.
It helps with the design aspect of it, but your heart is really on your sleeve a lot of times. You're crying while you're taking orders, or you're crying when you're delivering flowers, or the best part is delivering on a happy occasion when you see somebody at the door and they're like, oh, really? For me? Somebody thought of me? I said, absolutely. Don't think I'm just.
And that brings joy to your heart too, I'm sure.
Awesome. That's awesome. Yeah. So my family, we do. It's a family business. I do say that it is a family business because my family's involved during the big holidays for deliveries and even design and stuff. But even the co-workers, you know, the ladies that I employ from time to time, they become family as well. So it becomes very difficult because you do share a lot of feelings.
How do you deliver these flowers? I know when I just try to bring a flower arrangement home without it tipping over and damaging all the delicate little petals and everything, how do you deliver to a wedding or a funeral or something really huge without incurring damage to the flowers?
You have cargo carriers, and they've got foam with little slots that are cut out, that are die cut. Some of those foams are like 6 inches 8 inches deep, and they're die cut, and you can put different size arrangements in each block of foam. And you have these cargo carriers, but I also have a large SUV. I am in a Ford Expedition because not only do you have to carry large numbers of flowers sometimes, but you have very remote areas where you're traveling to.
Bumpy dirt roads.
Bumpy dirt roads. And some folks, you know, if they live clear out on the top of Game Trail, they say, well, I don't know that you can deliver today. The roads are snowy and icy. I said, no problem. We'll get there. Just need to know you're home.
You get it.
Yeah.
Well, in the years that I've known you, I think you've operated out of your home, and now you're on East Main Street. And do you like it a lot better? Tell me a little bit about your conditions on East Main Street and some of the stories that you have to tell.
Well, we had it up on East Main Street, right behind the old Texaco station. The building's no longer there.
Right.
When I bought it, that's where it was originally at.
I remember.
Then I moved it to the other side of Maine, on West Main, in a little log cabin. Then I left, I sold, and then we're back in the business, and I operated out of my home because I didn't have any equipment, so to say.
Right.
I have the cooler. I just needed necessary certain things, and it was a buildup from my house. And it was 225 square feet that I operated out of my home for 4.5 years. And it just got to the point that we were stumbling over each other. My house started resembling more of a flower shop instead of a home. I was using my girls' bedrooms because they were no longer home. I was using them to store flowers and closing the doors during holidays. It was just crazy. But eventually, we built it up to the point where we could move back into town.
Right.
It was a scary business because we moved into that spot over on East Main Street, and I thought, oh my gosh, how am I gonna fill up all this space? Well, just a short year later, I'm full. And I use every inch of that space.
Well, and you've told me that people will be walking Main Street and they will poke their head in your shop and they'll be saying, oh, it's just a flower shop, just a flower shop. And you are so much more. You rent tuxedos for weddings, and now you've started on a new venture. You have lotions and creams. And can you tell us a little bit about that and the gift baskets that you can put together for people?
First of all, we can do gift baskets of just about anything. As long as we have enough lead time so that we can shop for those personalized baskets, we're able to do whatever the customer would like, you know. As far as the lotions and stuff, I found a manufacturer actually out of Cripple Creek, so it's fairly local. Again, a mountain town, mountain mining town. And it's called My Essence Home and Body. And you have your base lotions like the satin and silk here. And then you also have one that is got cocoa butter, and the other one is goat's milk shea. And you can actually tint it or scent it however you want, either with a fragrance oil or an essential oil. And we can fragrance that to your liking, even if you want to put a couple of fragrances together. And then we also have the massage oil, the bath bombs, and the chocolates. Like I said, we can do a myriad of things with our baskets.
Oh, that's just awesome. And I don't think people realize that you pretty much have it all. You can put
pretty
together an entire wedding with not only the flowers, but the tuxedos, but then you also have gifts that you can have for the best man or the best, you know, the bridesmaid or whatever.
Correct.
So, and I know you have helium-filled balloons for birthday parties and things because the chamber has used those, and it's always a trick getting those to stay in my car.
Plants, baskets, we got it all. And if you, like I said, if you give us advance notice, we can search it down.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to tell the people today other than you ought to give them your phone number in case they need some flowers or need to plan a wedding?
Valentine's Day is coming up in a couple of weeks, guys. Don't be late. So our website is buffysflowers.com, and our phone number is 719-395-8170, and we're there Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and on Saturdays by appointment only. We found that it's just people are out and about because we live in such a beautiful area. With the Collegiate Peaks, there's a lot of outdoor activity. So we just kind of like to enjoy some of that time ourselves. Otherwise, we'd be there 24/7.
I'm sure. Well, thank you so much,
Well,
Buffy,
thank
for
you, Kathy,
coming
for
today.
having me.
I really like this. I've got such dry skin. Thank you.
That actually has real silk in it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's fabulous.
Awesome.
Welcome to Little Daisy Liquor in Buena Vista, Colorado. As you step inside, you'll soon realize why Little Daisy has been voted the best liquor store in Buena Vista for 3 years in a row. They have a wide selection, everything from fine wine to good time beer and everything in between. If you don't see what you'd like, let Rob or Selden know. They'll have it here in a jiffy. Little Daisy Liquor has thirst quenchers for any season.
Welcome back to Buena Vista Rocks, our hidden gems. I'm Kathy Perry with the Buena Vista Chamber of Commerce, and now I'm here visiting with Clinton Bellinger with Chaffee County Search and Rescue. Clinton, why don't you tell us how you got involved with Chaffee County Search and Rescue and how long you've been with them?
Certainly. I joined in 1997, shortly after, actually right when I graduated high school. Loved being outside. Seemed like a good thing to do, so it was fun.
Well, do you have any interesting stories to tell us? A quick story of a special rescue, that's something that happened or something that really touched your heart?
You know, there's a lot of different aspects to that, to the different missions. I think the biggest thing that's the best is, you know, finding somebody that's alive and well and bring them back to their family.
Mm-hmm.
So even if missions don't go good, you know, it still makes you feel good that you brought somebody.
A feel-good
back to their home.
moment.
Yeah.
Well, I know, working at the Chamber of Commerce, that about 3 years ago, there was a young lady that got lost up on Mount Princeton. And I couldn't believe when I took the phone call at about 3:30 in the afternoon that she was on Mount Princeton. She started crying, and she says, "I think I'm lost." And I said, "Just stay where you are. We have cell phone coverage, and let me call Search and Rescue." And she panicked, and she said, "I can't afford Search and Rescue. It'll cost me a fortune. Please don't call them." And I said, "We've got to get you down off that mountain." So can you tell us a little bit about maybe how Search and Rescue is funded, how these rescues are taken care of? Because I don't believe that people do have to just dish out thousands of dollars out of their pocket, do they?
No, they do not. That's a common mistake. A lot of people think that they're going to get a bill from Search and Rescue. There's no Search and Rescue group in the state that charges for Search and Rescues. Now, if you have a medical issue and Flight for Life has to come, or ambulance, that's a whole different deal. But yeah, we will not bill anybody to come up and get them. We encourage them to do it, so it saves them money in the long run. So
now I've heard that if you buy a fishing license or a hunting license, that there's a little bit of that fee that they can pay something to help them get rescued if need be.
Yep, that's correct.
It's an extra $1 is added on or something?
Yeah, there's the hiking card, or if you have a fishing license, ATV license, you know, hunting license, any of that, part of that goes to, it's the State Search and Rescue Fund, which is a big pot of money statewide. And if you have that card and we come up and get you, we get reimbursed for our costs.
Okay.
If you don't have that, then we end up carrying the bill on that. So.
Oh, goodness. So does Chaffee County Search and Rescue have fundraising events scheduled throughout the year to help with some of these expenses?
We do. So we have a barbecue every year that we do at the north end of the county. The south end of the county, they have a big car show, which brings in a lot of money, and just donations. All the search and rescue groups are funded through donations, grants, fundraisers. So any little bit helps. And, you know, the bigger the area, the more money, of course. So a lot of times in the little mountain communities, we do kind of struggle with that. So it's anytime we get donations or can do a fundraiser, we try to.
I know that the Buena Vista Chamber of Commerce puts your fundraising events on our website, buenavistacolorado.org. But do you have any idea the month that the car show will be your fundraiser and the month of the barbecue so that people can be looking for it?
I'm not entirely sure, but I know they're all on the calendars on Chaffee County Search and Rescue South or Chaffee County Search and Rescue North, their calendars, or even the community calendars.
Okay. So how long has Chaffee County Search and Rescue been in existence, and how many members do you have?
We started in 1964,
Okay.
so pretty old. We have currently about 60 members on our roster, and some of those were actually around in 1964.
Oh my goodness.
So they, of course, don't get out in the field as much, but they have a wealth of knowledge of the local area. So it's
Well,
good to have 'em.
I'm sure there's all kinds of ways that people can help with it. Do you have an office here in Buena Vista, or is there a way that if somebody is out there and they want to get involved with your organization, how could they reach you?
We meet once a month. It's the first Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. We have a building up on Greg Drive, just south of the Humane Society. So we meet there. Another good place to check out is our website, which is Chaffee County Search and Rescue North.org.
Okay.
So you can find our application, lots of links to stuff and what to do, and it's a good thing. And you don't have to be super in shape to do it. You know, we take anybody. We need office help to help with fundraisers, to help climb in the mountains. So
I'm sure when you're out climbing the mountains that you need help, as in fixing lunches and drinks and things like that, to keep everybody hydrated and healthy so that you can go out and climb all over the mountains and look for these people.
Yep.
So is there anything else that you would like to tell people today?
the biggest thing, go to our website, go to different mountaineering websites, learn about the outdoors. Make sure you let people know where you're going and when you plan on being back.
Well, that's really good information for us all to have. And Clinton, I'd like to thank you for coming today and informing people about the search and rescue, Chaffee County Search and Rescue. And we'll be right back, and we'll be talking to another person from Buena Vista.
Thank you.
Thanks, Clinton.
Youth in Action is a free literacy program that matches middle school students with preschool students. The middle school students and preschool student matches meet after school once a week right here in Chaffee County. This is an exciting time for the preschool students as their world is being opened up to letters, sounds, and words. Hi, I'm Kenny Wilcox, Youth in Action Coordinator. You can visibly see the transformation take place in the preschoolers as they read stories about places, animals, heroes, and faraway lands that they can only imagine. The middle school students get to be a part of this time in the lives of the preschoolers, while also gaining real life skills of responsibility, commitment as they care for their preschooler. Learning is encouraged through local field trips to places like the police and fire stations, hospital, and Humane Society.
My favorite experience with my preschooler was going to the police station. He was really excited to do that. So was I, and so we had a lot of fun there and we got to learn a lot.
Youth in Action is an interactive program that incorporates snacks, crafts, games, and play where creativity is always welcome. Families of the middle school and preschooler are welcome and encouraged to attend something we call Family Showcase. Family Showcase happens once a month and is an opportunity for the middle school and preschooler to show their parent or guardian exactly what we've been up to. It also gives the parent or guardian an opportunity to see this developing relationship between the preschooler and the middle schooler.
My best experience with my mentee was probably when we went out to the high school to fly kites. It taught them a little sharing and it was just really fun.
If you'd like more information about the Youth in Action program or want to get involved, check us out on chaffeementors.org, or you can call me at 719-530-2581. To enroll your child in the Youth in Action program, simply pick up an application at your child's school office.
Welcome back to Buena Vista Rocks, our hidden gems. I'd like to thank Collegiate Peaks Realty again for allowing us to video here in their conference room. And now I'd like to introduce you to Emily Osborne, the Town Recreation Director. And Emily, can you tell us a little bit about how you ended up in this position and maybe a little bit more about Town Rec?
For sure. So I grew up in Canyon City, and I was a river guide in the Royal Gorge for 7 years. And then I went to Colorado State University and got my undergrad in rec park and tourism management. And then I went to Penn State and got my master's in recreation. And after that, I decided I definitely needed to come back to the Valley because I absolutely love this Valley. And so I moved to Leadville, and I've been there for about 1.5 years, and I'm just so blessed to have a job in my field in the place that I absolutely love.
And I would think, what a fun job, planning events for the town and managing the parks and everything that goes on there. So can you tell us a little bit maybe about some of the events or some of the activities that are happening right now? I see posters around town about indoor soccer.
Definitely. So my counterpart, Ashley, is in charge of the programming. And so she wanted me to give a little announcement about what we have going on now. So we have the Nuggets Skill Challenge, Kids Fun Runs, Bike Polo, Tap Dancing, Tai Chi, Dog Smarts, Yoga, Payo, soccer, indoor soccer, Zumba, and pickleball. Also, we're going to start adult volleyball in the beginning of March, and so sign up for that will be in the middle of February. And then we're going to have a Learn to Play Pickleball clinic on February 15th. So those are all the programs going on right now. And then we also have our community center, which is a bunch of fitness classes, and you're allowed to rent the community center for private events as well. So that is an option.
So the town of Buena Vista has a lot of venues that they can rent, not only the community center, but how many parks do we have around town?
We have 4 traditional parks with playgrounds and picnic tables. We have 2 parks with man-made rocks for bouldering. We have a whitewater park, a splash park, a dog park, and a pocket park called the People Stage, which is downtown.
Yes, that's brand new, and there were concerts all of this past year down in the People's Park, from what I remember. So I don't think people realize, one of the reasons we call this show Buena Vista Rocks, Our Hidden Gems, is because people think we're a small town, we don't have anything to do, but in talking to you and all of these activities, if you don't have something to do, then there's something wrong.
Right.
Because there's plenty of stuff going on. I can tell you from working at the Chamber of Commerce for 22 years that I get a lot of phone calls from people wanting to rent one of the parks because they want to have a family reunion or a wedding. I always tell them, you know, you may want to reserve it because you need to make sure that it's not being in use for Gold Rush days or for a bicycle tour or something like that. But you also need to just talk to the town and find out what the rules and regulations are. Can you inform us a little bit about that, how affordable it is, and how somebody might go about reserving the park for a child's birthday party?
Definitely. So our parks are very affordable. You can rent the picnic tables or the volleyball courts or basketball courts for as little as $10. And you could rent all of McPhellamy Park for an entire day for like $60. The community center ranges from $18 to about $100 depending on which room and how long you're going to rent it. But the community center does also have a commercial kitchen, which can be very helpful for different events.
We've used it a lot for the Chamber Gala and also for the historical ATV Color Tour, and it's a wonderful setup. But sometimes when people are doing a wedding or a gala like the Chamber of Commerce, are they allowed to have liquor in the community center or in the parks?
Yeah, so the first step is to fill out a basic special event permit application and turn it into the town. And then from that point, you would go to the town and apply for a liquor license if you did want liquor. And you might have to do an extended special event permit for 250 people or more, but generally it's a pretty easy process.
Right. I know that when Ride the Rockies comes through, Bicycle Tour of Colorado, and it's a huge event, there's a lot more to it. But I have been very fortunate that Ashley, before you were working there, has helped the Chamber of Commerce in filling out the permit and making it a painless process.
Good.
And the Chamber, of course, has insurance for this, but it's my understanding that if you have a huge event, then you usually need to get insurance also for the park and everything and make sure. So, yes, there's so many opportunities and so many parks. Do you also organize the softball tournaments and things like that that come up in the summertime? Put together the teams when you have like Collegiate Peaks Realty against Collegiate Peaks Bank or something? Are you the one that puts that together?
Ashley is the one that's in charge of the programming.
Okay.
But her and I do have a goal this year to have an Arkansas Valley softball tournament,
Oh, that'd be awesome.
which I think will be in August or September. And so hopefully we get teams from Leadville and team from Salida, and we just kind of have a nice little event out of it.
So if I have somebody out there who wants to teach a Zumba class or yoga or something like that, do they do it through Town Rec, or do they rent the community center and do it that way, or can it be done either or?
It can be done either or. And if anybody has any ideas about classes that they would like to teach or would like to take that are not offered, please do let us know. I do have open office hours from 1 until 4 on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And my office is in the community center at 715 East Main. So if you have any ideas, please come in, let me know, say hi. I'd love to see you.
Well, why don't you also give them your phone numbers so that they can contact you and set up something, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there with a lot of talents that they might be able to share, and people maybe that want to get involved with the card playing, the bridge that meets on Thursday, I believe.
Yeah.
So your phone number is?
My phone number is 719-395-2408, and my email address is recsupervisor@buenavistaco.gov.
I also wanted to ask, you set up the concerts in the park, in McPhellamy Park, the park with the lake.
Right.
And those are usually every Thursday night?
Correct.
Have you started on that yet? Do you have any idea the talents that you might be bringing in?
I haven't started scheduling any of that yet,
Okay.
but they will be on Thursday nights starting in June, and I think that I'll have that list finalized probably about April or May.
So are you looking for any more entertainers? If there's an entertainer out there that might want to contact you.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you've got talent, let me know.
So if you're a band or a singer and you'd like to perform in the park, I think they're like 7 o'clock. Fabulous venue underneath the cottonwood trees next to the lake. I know I've been several times. I just love to stretch out my blanket and enjoy after a hard day of work. And I'm hoping that as soon as you get that schedule confirmed, that you will get it to me so that I can put it on the Chamber's website at buenavistacolorado.org. So,
And that does remind me of another thing. If you want to use the People's Stage for any reason, that's what it was
That's
built
right.
for, the community. Whether it's you want to sell your jewelry that you home make, or you want to play your guitar, or if you have any use for the People's Stage, please be in contact with us, because that's what it is for.
I think you had the Salida Circus there. You've also had some guitar players. I'm trying to remember some of the bands that have played there. Just small groups. They have hay bales set up, and then you have a nice little awning, and it's between the Pearl Theater and another building. I think Country Cuts is in there, correct?
Correct.
Very nice venue. So, I mean, the town just keeps adding in all
That's
these
great.
nice venues for people to enjoy. And I've never had a chance to get down to the main bouldering park, but I've been to the boulders that are right down in South Maine. I see the kids climbing over those all the time. So, well, is there anything else that you would like to tell people today?
Go recreate.
Well, I would like to thank you and Caliche Peaks Realty for sharing this room with us. And like I said, there is so much more to Buena Vista than anybody realizes. And so we'll be back again with another episode of Buena Vista Rocks, Our Hidden Gems. Thanks for helping us do this, Gold Strike Communications.